The power and creation. Hi, welcome to day three of Read to Rise Book Readers Book Club. And today we are continuing with the same book, The Secret. The chapter is The Power and Creation. Every moment of your life is infinitely creative, and the universe is endlessly bountiful. Just put forth a clear enough request, and everything your heart desires must come to see you. Written by the author Shakti Guan. In the next chapters, you will learn how easy is it to harness the force of love for money, health, career, business, and relationships. With this knowledge, you will be able to change your life into whatever you want. To bring a specific desire to you, follow the simple steps of creation process. Whether it's bringing something you want or changing something you don't want, the process is always the same. The creation process, imagine it, feel it, receive it. Imagine. Use your mind to focus on and imagine what you desire. Imagine yourself being with your desire. Imagine yourself doing things with your desire. Imagine yourself having your desire. This is also called as visualization. Feel at the same time as you imagine, you must feel love for what you are imagining. You must imagine and feel being with your desire. You must imagine and feel doing things with your desire. You must imagine and feel having your desire. Wow. Your imagination connects you to what you want. Your desire and feelings of love create the magnetism, the magnetic power drawing your desire to you. This completes your part in the creation process. Receive. The force of love will work through the visible and invisible forces of nature to bring what you desire to you. It will use circumstances, events, and people to give what you love to you. Whatever you desire, you must want it with all your heart. Desire is love, and unless you have the burning desire in your heart, you will not have enough power to harness the force of love. You must really desire what you want. As an athlete, desires to play a sport, a dancer desires to dance, and a painter desires to paint. You must desire what you want with all your heart because desire is a feeling of love, and you must give love to receive what you love. Whatever you want to be in your life, whatever you want to do in your life, whatever you want to have in your life, the creation process is the same. Give love to receive love. Imagine it, feel it, receive it. When using the creation process, imagine and feel that you have what you want already and never deviate from the state of being. Why? Because the law of attraction copies whatever you give. And so you must imagine and feel having it now. If you want to lose weight, then give love by imagining and feeling yourself with the body you love instead of imagining and feeling that you are overweight every single day. If you want to travel, then give love by imagining and feeling yourself traveling instead of imagining every day that you don't have the money to travel. If you want to improve yourself in a sport, acting, singing, playing a musical instrument, hobby, or in your job, then give love for what you want to be by imagining and feeling whatever it is you would love to be. If you want a better marriage or better relationship with anybody, then give love by imagining and feeling what it would be like to have that relationship. Faith is to believe that which you do not yet see, and the reward of this faith is to see that which you believe. And this was quoted by Saint Augustine of Hippo, theologian and bishop. When you begin working with the creation process, you might want to start by attracting something unusual. When you specifically attract something unusual, you will be left in no doubt about your power when you receive it. One young woman began by choosing to attract a specific flower, a white calla lily. She imagined holding the flower in her hand, smelling the flower, and she felt having that calla lily. 2 weeks later, she went to a friend's house for dinner, and there, in the centerpiece of the table, was a bouquet of white calla lilies. The very flower and color she had imagined. She was excited to see the lilies, but she didn't say anything to her friend about her imagined flower. As she was walking out the door at the end of the evening, her friend's daughter spontaneously plucked one white calla lily from the vase and put it in her hand. How beautiful, right? We have seen, but we might have seen something like this, but usually we say it's a coincidence or something like that, and we ignore that this is what we have imagined or desired, and we are getting it some other place, right? Imagination is the beginning of creation. You imagine what you desire. You will what you imagine, and at last you create what you will. And this was written by George Bernard Shaw, Nobel Prize winning playwright. Great. Give it, receive it. Remember that the law of attraction says whatever you give, you receive. If you think of the law of attraction as a mirror, an echo, a boomerang, or a copying machine, it will help make you clearer on what you imagine and feel. The law of attraction is like a mirror because mirror reflects back exactly what is in front of it. The law of attraction is like an echo because whatever you give out is exactly the echo that comes back. The law of attraction is like a boomerang because whatever boomerang you throw is the exact same boomerang that comes back to you. The law of attraction is like a copying machine because whatever you give is reproduced exactly and you will receive back an exact copy. A few years ago, I was in Paris for my work and I was walking down a street when a woman rushed past me wearing one of the most beautiful skirts I had seen, intricately detailed in Parisian style. My reaction was love. What a beautiful skirt! A few weeks later, I was happily driving to work in Melbourne, Australia, when I was forced to stop because another driver was trying to do an illegal U turn at an intersection. As I looked at the store window where I had been forced to stop, I saw the exact same skirt I had seen on the women in the streets of Paris. I could not believe my eyes. When I got to work, I called the store and they told me they had received only one skirt from Europe in that style, and it was the skirt in the window. Of course the skirt was my size. When I went to the store to purchase the skirt, it was reduced to half price, and the store attendant told me they had not ordered the skirt and that it had just appeared in their order accidentally. Wow, so beautiful, right? The only thing I had done to bring that skirt to me was to love it. And from Paris to a suburban street in Australia, through circumstances and events, the exact same skirt was delivered to me. That is the magnetic power of love. This is love's law of attraction in operation. Imagination. This world is but a canvas to our imaginations. This is written by Henry David Correa, transcendentalist author. Okay. When you imagine anything positive that you want and love, you are harnessing the force of love. When you imagine something positive, something good, and you feel love for it, that is what you are giving, and that is what you will receive. If you can imagine it and feel it, then you can receive it. But what you're imagining must come from love. Whatever you are imagining must not harm another person. Imagine something that brings harm to another person comes not from love but from lack of love. And with certainty, any negativity, even imagined, will turn back with an equal ferocity on this person who sent it. Whatever you give, you receive back. But I want to tell you something fantastic, okay, about the force of love and your imagination. The highest and the best thing you think is possible is nothing compared to what the force of love can give to you. Love has no limits. If you want to be full of vitality and happiness with an incredible zest for life, the force of love can give you health and happiness at levels far beyond what you have seen. I'm telling you this so that you can start to break the boundaries of your imagination and stop putting limits on your life. Push your imagination to the limits and imagine the best and highest that you possibly can of whatever it is that you want. The difference between someone who is struggling and someone who has a fabulous life comes down to one thing, that is love. Those who have a great life imagine what they love and want, and they feel the love of what they are imagining more than other people. People who are struggling are unintentionally using their imagination for what they don't love and don't want, and are feeling the negativity of what they are imagining. It's such a simple thing, but it creates vast differences in people's lives, and you can see the difference everywhere you look. The secret of the mastermind is found wholly in use of imagination. This is mentioned by Christian D. Larson. The secret of the mastermind is found wholly in the use of imagination. History has proven that those who dare to imagine the impossible are the ones who break all human limitations in every field of human endeavor, whether science, medicine, sports, the arts, or technology. The names of the people who imagined the impossible are engraved in our history. By breaking the limits of their imagination, they changed the world. Your entire life is what you have imagined to be. Everything you have or don't have, every situation and circumstances of your life is what you have imagined it to be. The problem is that many people imagine the worst. They are turning the most wonderful tool against themselves. Instead of imagining the best, many people are in fear and imagine all the things that can go wrong. And as surely as they keep imagining, and feeling those things, they happen. Whatever you give, you receive. Feel and imagine the best and highest you can in every area of your life, because the best you can imagine is a piece of cake for the force of love. When my family had settled in the US, we flew our 15-year-old dog, Cabby, to be with us. One night, not long after Cabby had arrived, he managed to get out of a small gap in the fence, our home backs onto mountains, so it was far from an ideal situation. In the dark, we searched the streets and the trails leading up to mountains, but a dog was nowhere to be found. As my daughter and I were searching, negative feelings of anguish began to increase. I knew we had to stop searching and change the way we were feeling inside immediately. The negative feelings were telling us that we were imagining the worst, and we had to change the way we were feeling quickly and imagine the best. At that point, every possible outcome could still happen, and we had to choose the outcome of having Gabby safely home with us by imagining and feeling that he was home. We returned home and we pretended our dog was with us. We put food in his bowl as though he were there. We imagined hearing the bell around Cabby's neck as we walked down our hallway. We talked to him and called out his name as though he were there. He was there. My daughter went to bed imagining that her best friend of 15 years was sleeping next to her bed, and as he always did. Early the next morning, we discovered a notice on a tree at the foot of the mountain saying that someone had found a little dog. It was Cabby, just as we imagined. Our dog returned home safely to us. No matter what challenging situation you may find yourself in, imagine the best outcome and feel it. When you do, you will change the circumstance and you will change the situation into what you want. And here, let me take a pause and talk about one of the story that's similar story that happened with me as well. And this was a year of 2000, I think 2019. So I had a very small cat. She was hardly 18 days old when she came to my house, and it was November 2018 when I brought her first. And I think after 4 months, um, she, like I will say, she was hardly 4 months old. Kitten, small kitten. And I was staying alone in a 1 BHK. And one morning, it was afternoon, I would say, one afternoon, the owner of the house came and he left the door open. So it was just a small gap and it was open. And she escaped. And after 30 minutes or so, when while he was leaving, I saw that the gate was open, and I immediately understood that my cat has already left the house. But after that, I started looking for it, searching. I think the whole day, evening, it was night. At night, also, I took food. I was throwing here and there some food that, okay, wherever she is, if she's coming back to the same place, she can eat something on the move. And I used to stay in third floor, so the entire staircases everywhere I used to keep few of the food. And again thinking, what about other cats and what and this that something, all those thoughts. But I was expecting her to come back, and you won't believe that it was a time, morning 4 o'clock, when I heard a lot of dogs barking. I immediately went down, morning 4, and it was not even dawn, and I was looking for it. I looked at the trees. I didn't find anything. By 7, I was on the roads, on the street, or near to my house, near to the society, in fact. And then the housemaid, house help, who used to come at 8, she was there standing right in front of me and told that this morning there was one of the kitten who was like not kitten. She exactly did not mention it was cat or a dog. Just she said a small animal was eaten by those dogs, and it was like the garbage man came up and took that animal and threw it in the dustbin. So whatever she was saying, and my heart just sank, and I was literally crying, crying, crying. I went to my house and I spoke to my parents and I told I'm leaving this society and all those stuffs. And it was exact 17 days, not 18 days later. We had like we gave a notice to the owner, and I was planning to leave the house. So exactly on 18th day, my parents came down for because I had a plan to shift, so my parents came down, and very nicely on 18th day, very 18th day morning. My dad told, why don't you come with me? I need to go, like why he used to go for a morning walk. So he asked me to come with him. And he wanted to go to the ATM. Until the 17 days, I'll say that I used to go out of the house and thinking that, okay, my cat is there somewhere, she's there, somewhere she's there. But I never used to find her. It was a big society and all those things. So I gave up. And on the 18th day, he asked me, and I was like, yes, let's go. And it was 6:30 in the morning. While we were going, just like 100 meters away, there was a house where my cat was sitting, and she was looking here and there, and I immediately understood because of her fur, her necktie, and all those things. And you won't believe that this really happened. That when we spoke to the people around there, they said that yes, this cat came up and she was crying and she started eating from that garbage, and it has been some 15, 18 days, something like that, they told. And we were like, this is our cat. And we informed some of the children over there that if you can get it, and they caught it. I and this the very next day we had a plan to leave. So my sisters came up, and they brought the cage, because there was no plan of having cats and all. So I never had thought that okay, I'll require a cage. Thankfully that my sister was having that cage, and wow, so great feeling. And till date it is, it's my pleasure that my younger sister, like post my marriage and all, she's keeping the cat, and now the cat is in Dubai. So that's another story. But the point is the feel I was having for the cat was like, even if my house help, she told me that there was an animal, and who was killed by the those dogs. And whenever I was moving out of the house, I was thinking, okay, somewhere I'll find her, somewhere I'll find her. And finally, I found her. And today, so I have read this book earlier also, and I realized, I felt that moment also that this works, and now also I can say that this definitely works. So the power of imagination, or power of creation, and power of like that love, law of attraction do work. Okay, that was just a short story. Now, moving next. Whatever you can imagine exists. The creation is only the projection into form of that which already exists. And this is written in Srimad Bhagavatam. Oh, I was not aware of this. Creation is only the projection into form of that which already exists. Nice. Whatever desire you can imagine already exists. It doesn't matter what it is. If you can imagine it, it already exists in creation. 5,000 years ago, ancient scriptures recorded that all of the creation was done and complete, and that anything that could possibly be created already exists. Now, 5,000 years later, quantum physics has confirmed that every single possibility of anything and everything actually exists now. The creation of the heavens and the earth and everything in them was complete. Genesis. Nice. What that means for you and your life is that whatever you can imagine for yourself in your life already exists. It's impossible for you to imagine anything that doesn't exist. Creation is complete. Every single possibility exists. So, when you can imagine breaking a world record or traveling to the far east or being full of health or being a parent, those possibilities of you doing those things exist in creation right now. If they didn't exist already, you would not be able to imagine them. To bring the things you desire and love from the invisible into your visible life, all you have to do is give love for what you want through your imagination and feelings. Imagine your life the way you want it to be. Imagine everything you want. Take your imagination with your everyday and imagine what it would be like if your relationships were all wonderful. Imagine how you would feel if your job suddenly took off. Imagine how your life would be if you had the money you need to do what you love. Imagine how you would feel it. Feel if you were overflowing with health. Imagine how you would feel if you could do what you wanted to do. Use all of your senses to imagine what you want. If you want to travel to Italy, imagine the smell of olive oil. Taste the pasta, hear Italian words being spoken to you, touch the stone of the Colosseum, and feel being in Italy. In conversation and in your thoughts, say it. Imagine if, and then fill in the rest of the sentence with what you want. If you talking to a friend and they are complaining because their work colleagues got a promotion and they didn't, help them by saying, imagine if the reason you didn't get the promotion is that you are being promoted to an even bigger role with way more money. Because the truth is that the possibility of your friends being promoted to an even bigger role with way more money already exists. And if they can imagine and feel it, they can receive it. Atoms or elementary particles themselves are not real. They form a world of potentialities or possibilities rather than one of the things or facts. Werner Heisenberg. Nobel Prize winning quantum physicist. Oh, great. Use your imagination and create games so that you can feel really good. Whatever you can imagine is waiting for you, fully created in the invisible, and the way to make it visible is to harness the force of love by imagining and feeling what you love. After graduating from college, a young woman struggled for months and months trying to get a job. Her biggest obstacle was imagining having a job when she didn't have one. She wrote in her journal every day that she was grateful for the job that was coming to her, but still no job. Then she had a sudden realization. Her desperate action of applying for one job after another was saying loud and clear to the law of attraction that she didn't have a job. So here is that the young woman did that changed everything. She decided to use her imagination and live through and live as though she were already employed. She set her alarm early as if she were going to work. Instead of writing in a journal that she was grateful for the job that was coming, she wrote how grateful she was for the success in her job and for the people she worked with. She planned the clothes she would wear to work each day. She set up a savings account for her paychecks. Within 2 weeks, she felt as though she really had a job. Then, out of the blue, a friend told her about a position that had become available. She went for an interview, got the job, and received everything she had written about in her journal. Now prop yourself up. Whenever you permit yourself to think that what persons, things, conditions, or circumstances may suggest you are not following what you want to think. You are not following your own desires but borrowed desires. Use your imagination in determining what you want to think or do. And this was mentioned by Christian D. Larson. Always remember, if you are not owning your own desires and if you are borrowing some desires, no, you will not be getting that. When using the creation process, use all the props you can to generate the feelings that you have what you want already. Surround yourself with items of clothing, pictures, photographs, and relevant objects so you can imagine and feel the feelings of having what you want. If you want new clothes, make sure you have the space in your wardrobe with empty clothes hangers ready for your new ones. If you want to bring more money into your life, does your wallet have space for money or is it full of irrelevant bits of paper? If you want to the perfect partner, you must imagine and feel that the person is with you now. Are you sleeping in the middle of your bed? Or are you sleeping on one side because your partner is on the other side of the bed? If your partner were with you now, you would be using only half the space, sorry, half the space in your wardrobe because your partner's clothes would be in the other halves of the wardrobe. Do you set your table for two people or one person? Just putting out an extra place is something you can easily do. Do your best not to contradict your desire in your day to day actions and instead use the world of props that surround you to feel as though you already have what you want. These are simple little things you can do with props and your imagination, but they are incredibly powerful. One woman used props and her imagination to receive a horse. She had wanted a horse all her life, but she could not afford to buy one. She wanted a chestnut. Morgan's gelding and a Morgan would cost thousands and then thousands of dollars. So she imagined seeing the exact horse she wanted each time. She looked outside her kitchen window. She put a picture of a chestnut Morgan horse on the screen of a laptop computer. Whenever she had the opportunity, she doodled drawings of the horse. She began looking at horses for sale. Even though she couldn't afford them, she took her children to a store and together they tried on riding boots. She looked at saddles. She bought the only things she could afford: a horse blanket, lead, and horse brushes. And she kept them on display so she could see them every day. Sometime later, the woman went to a horse expo in her town. A raffle was being held at the expo, and the first prize was a chestnut Morgan gelding, the exact same horse she had been imagining. And of course, she won the raffle and received her horse. Your senses are props too, so use all your senses to help you feel that you have what you want. Feel the touch of what you want with your skin. Taste it, smell it, see it, and hear it. One man worked with all his senses to bring himself multiple job offers. He had applied for 75 positions over 3 years and had not received a single job offer. But then he used his imagination and all his senses to imagine he had his dream job. He imagined every detail in his new office. He touched the keys of his computer in his imagination. He smelled the lemon scent of the furniture polish on his new huge mahogany desk. He imagined his work colleagues. He gave them names. He had conversations with them. He had meetings with them. He even tasted the tacos at lunch breaks. 7 weeks later, he began receiving requests for interviews, then requests for second interviews poured in. Then he received not only one fantastic job but offer but two. He accepted the job he loved the most. It was his dream job. Know that when you have completed your part in the creation process, creation is done. You are no longer in the old world where you didn't have what you wanted. You have moved into a new world that contains the very thing you want, even if you can't see it yet. Know that you will receive it. Let's do a quick revision. Points of power: to harness the force of love in your life to bring something you want or change something you don't want. The creation process is always the same. Imagine it, feel it, receive it. Your imagination connects you to what you want. Your desire and feelings of love create the magnetism, the magnetic power, drawing desire to you. Imagine yourself being with your desire. At the same time, feel love for what you are imagining. Desire what you want with all your heart because desire is a feeling of love and you must give love to receive what you love. When you imagine anything positive that you want and love, you are harnessing the force of love. Push your imagination to the limits and imagine the best and highest that you possibly can of whatever it is that you want. Whatever desires you can imagine already exist. It doesn't matter what it is. If you can imagine it, it already exists in creation. In conversations and in your thoughts, say, imagine if, and then complete the sentence with what you want. Use props. Surround yourself with items of clothing, pictures, photographs, and relevant objects so that you can imagine and feel the feelings of having what you want. Your senses are props too. Use all your senses to help you feel that you have what you want. Feel it, taste it, smell it, see it, and hear it. When you have completed your part in the creation process, you have moved into a new world that contains the very thing that you want, even if you can't see it yet. Know you will receive it. So today's task is to first imagine what you really want, then start feeling about it. See if you can receive it. Start giving. You will definitely receive it. With this, we are coming to an end. Thank you. Bye bye.